delay. I have a few here. This one is the oldest one. It's called a Miazzi. And this has 4 or 5 heads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then an erase head and a record head. And the way it goes on, you light it up and off it goes. And then I have control over the individual 4 heads. And then there's another one for the 5th, another one for the 6th. And then I can also have like a feedback, which feeds back, I think, on the 2nd head. Oh, that's really cool. A lot of good guitar sounds with that. And then my favorite is this one, the Benson, which usually I always have to clean before I start. And this is how I clean them. I've got some very, very fine sewing oil, sewing machine oil. Use anything else, it'll just turn really black and dark and gooky. And then I just clean it. See how quickly it starts to speed up. And you get some dirt on here. And then I turn it over, dry side. And then to clean the heads, you just got the little post-it that's folded over. That cleans the erase head right here. And the recording. Playback heads. And then the delay, and that's how you clean it. And that's it. You never bend them or otherwise you'll ruin it. And then there's a wire across here, in there, and that's where you get your delay. Picks up the sound in here, and then delays are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now, was this used on any of the Coldplay X and Y?
This was all my Coldplay guitar sounds and some of my vocal sounds, sometimes the drums. It's good for a little bit of everything. And then I had something very customized, which I think I'm the only one that may have this. And that's speed control here, very speed. So I can slow it down or speed it up, which of course, comes in handy when I'm doing something rhythmical. And then I've got my choice of whether I want it to be an echo or just a repeat or a swell, so you don't hear the initial attacks. And then my different heads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after that, actually, I think it's only 4 heads. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's like combination.
Those are all like interesting combinations. I think this was the setting that well, for years I did this. I was using 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then I started using this for a while. And Pink Floyd, I think, likes this setting or that setting, I don't know. But they'd put bass on this, you name it, they did it. So it's a cool sound. And a little light goes on and it tells you the volume that's going on in there. I like to distort it a little bit. It's great. It's all tubes, so it works. It's a good distortion. And this is a very, very old, you probably won't find any like this. This was originally used for sci-fi movies. I bought it in mint condition. It had never been used. Brand new. It was sitting in a guy's closet since the 60s. And it's the same kind of concept with different heads. And it's still brand new looking. And then this one I got from Charlie Watkins. And he customized this one for me. So I really have sustained repeats on any of the heads instead of just 1 or 2. And controls for those. And it's the same kind of thing. Open it up. Get your different heads. It's awesome sound.
Pretty much delays, huh?
Those are my major delays. The other ones I didn't use that much, so I got rid of them. I had an Echoplex for a long time. Once I got these multi-heads, I just didn't use it much, and then I had a full tone for a while, which was good. But since then, there's great plugins like this one over here that just came out from Mic DSP, which sounds really great. I love it. I've got a whole bunch of presets I'm making. And you've got the standard, they're kind of hybrid, and then you can go to a digital, which has got really cool sounds, and then your analog. And I've been using this a lot, because you have so many controls. You can have it duck so that the delay doesn't come in until after the vocal stops or the guitar stops. And you can control, you got EQ controls here, and then you can do just, if you're doing time or notes, you do a note, and like Echo Boy, you want to rush it or slow it down a little bit. You've got the control here. You've got everything here. But the duck control and the compress control is really cool. And then you can do the wow and the flutter, so it emulates more real tape. And your width control, you've got a nice spread if you want. Really, really cool. And then you can decide whether you wanted a classic tape sound, or your warm, or your bright and dirty, which I use a lot. So they really thought of everything. So, more and more as you get these kind of great quality tape sounds, it's just so much easier to go this way than go through the trouble of analog. But so far, of the ones that I have, nobody's got that, so I'm still using these. But this is what I'll use on a vocal. Sometimes it's a combination of maybe some short reverbs and some stereo delays I'll have going. And you don't really know which is the reverb, which is the delay. You just hear something that has an openness to it, some depth. Unless, of course, I'm doing a track where the vocal is deep in reverb. At that point, even then, I might have long delays going on slowly underneath. Maybe one's an eighth note, maybe it's another quarter note. Maybe some of them are just quick stereo feel. And these are combinations that I might only bring in on a B section or on a chorus. Don't know. Just something that just opens up the vocal a little bit more. And with the reverbs of the analog, I bring them up here at the end of the desk. But more and more, when I'm using delays, I'll just have it showing up. It'll just come up almost like a vocal stem.
And which digital reverbs you use?
Well, most of them are all analog, except for my favorite one that's in here is my M7, the Bricasti. That's still, all my friends and we all agree, that's the best reverb. But there's also real old ones that we like. I like the 81, or I've got this preset that I've made. That was a lot of the Coldplay sounds, and then I've got your basic standard one, which is your tiled room. That's still nothing like it. That was a Lexicon 80, I think. I don't remember.
PCM 70?
Or 70, PCM 70, of course. There it is.
Room.
Says it right on there.
Is it a stock setting, or did
It's
you
a stock setting. I haven't touched it.
That's
And
the only effect going on.
and then same thing with this. I've got my Lexicon 200. It's a nice grainy, low bit sound. Sounds great. That's it for reverbs. And then I've got my trick delays and stuff from my TC Electronic, or I've got a bunch of presets. So I've got they copy the Ursa Major. I've got some copies of the Miazzi. And then there's some Binson. Somewhere in here, there's some Binson settings. Binson Echo-Rec.
Now by copy, did you do the copies?
No, I didn't do. A friend of mine did those. They're not bad. They're not exact, but they have a cool sound. And my roll-in for another delay. I usually get into, eighth notes, quarter notes, whole notes with that. It's really good. And, that's about it for delays, except for my good old PCM 42 over here. That's got a really cool sound to it, so I still use it. I think there's a copy of that works. That sounds pretty close. That's a plug-in. I use it sometimes. So that's it.